Reaper is one of the deadliest heroes in Overwatch, and a scary force on the battlefield. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to dominate as Reaper and deal with the threats that come your way.
I don't take lessons from you.
The former agent of Blackwatch uses a combination of shotguns and movement abilities to win the day for his team, as well as satiate his berserk bloodlust. The Hellfire shotguns deal massive damage quickly at short range, so his entire strategy revolves around getting into those situations. Each shotgun fires a spread of 20 pellets that can be fired twice within 1 second. A standard 200 health hero will die to those 2 shots if all the pellets hit, but can die to a single shot if enough of them land in the head. Naturally, enemies with larger hitboxes like Roadhog, Winston, Reinhardt, Bastion, and D.Va will be easier to pelt with their pellets, making him a fantastic counter to most tanks. Whenever Reaper reaps, a soul globe is left behind. Globes will appear anytime an enemy dies from your teammates as well. However, it should be noted that they disappear when the enemy respawns. Reaper can absorb these glowing balls to regain lost health, refueling him to continue rocking the rampage. Luckily, he has the largest health pool of all the offensive characters to also help him survive. Since he needs to get in close to utilize his strengths, he has developed the ability to shadow step to different locations. Activate the ability to the location you would like to arrive at. Reaper can teleport a great distance, ready to ruin opponents. Try to flank to pick off stragglers and any unsuspecting foes. Maps that offer vertical scalability like Numbani and Watchpoint Gibraltar are excellent when trying to get the drop on them. On King of the Hill maps like Ilios and Nepal, try to get behind the enemy team and take out the supports as quickly as possible. If he ever gets into trouble, he can always become invincible for 3 seconds in his Wraith form. Switching to a Wraith will bump his movement speed up a small amount, but it also has a second bonus. Once activated, all debuffs are removed and he can pass through opponents and turrets. Passing over soul orbs and health packs will still heal him, and other supports can grant heals and bonuses as well. Once his ultimate Death Blossom is enabled, get ready to melt mobs into mush. The radius of the rotation is small, but it extends in a sphere that hits above and below him. Often you can see a Reaper dropping into a group from above, firing on the way down to great effect.
Get to cover.
Gabriel Reyes underwent a massive transformation when he became Reaper, and as such, he has a few weaknesses beyond his extreme edginess. Long and even mid-range fights can make him feel powerless, as the pellet spread and damage drop off are significant. Attempt to reposition him while wearing down a Reinhardt shield from mid-range, as it is fairly easy to hit with all of your pellets. While repositioning with Shadow Step, however, Reaper is completely vulnerable. It takes 2 seconds to complete the animation, during which he can be hit. Reaper also tactlessly announces his arrival to nearby foes the second he finishes teleporting, so try to land somewhere out of sight.
Repositioning.
Death Blossom also leaves him vulnerable to crowd control and long-range damage. Stuns like Roadhog's hook, McCree's flashbang, and on a sleep dart can put an end to him. And movement speed is roughly cut in half during the spin. Snipers are always a threat, and look for assistance from your team by letting them know you're about to ult. Crowd control like Mei's gun and Symmetra's turrets can be avoided with Wraith form. Unfortunately, Reaper cannot escape every situation with the ability, and many heroes will just be able to chase him down and finish him off. Due to this, we recommend early escape before the situation gets too hairy, especially since his skills often encourage him to be away from his teammates like the emo kid from school.
Was there even a question?
Quick aim is highly important for any hero, but doubly so for Reaper. Headshots in close range can one-shot several heroes, altering the flow of battle greatly. Focus on Mercy if she's on the other team to prevent her from negating your work. Coordinating your ultimate with Zarya or Reinhardt can be very tempting and often devastating, but don't pass up the opportunity for a good ultimate while you wait for an amazing one that might not ever come. You can jump while using it to further throw off predictability. Always keep in mind the enemy can counter your ultimate in many ways. Try to bait out skills like D.Va's Defense Matrix and Zenyatta's ultimate before triggering yours. Be careful when chasing down Junkrat, as his death will cause his total mayhem grenades to drop on his location. Hunt down Symmetra teleporters, and when facing her, escape with Wraith form if you cannot take her out within a few shots. Long-ranged heroes like Pharah can make life very hard for Reaper, as there is no option but to run from them. And speaking of running, try to deal with Lucio early on in group fights, as his speed boost can make chasing down targets difficult. Reaper makes short work of tank heroes, making him a great counterpick, especially on confined maps like those used in control game modes. He also does very well against defensive heroes and supports by design, and focusing on his strengths will help your team succeed. Reaper is certainly a frightening force to face on the field, but now I want to know what tips you can frantically feed forward to fans in the comments below. This has been Andrew from Curse saying thanks for watching and enjoy the game.
Let them eat cake.
It's in the refrigerator.